and it's really good for making you actually better at burning fat as fuel. So it's a very good thing to do. So AO came in and sat down, said his heart rate was 195, sat at his desk there, 195, which shows there's an issue with his heart rate tracker. Maximum heart rate is generally around, 220 minus your age. So it's almost at maximum heart rate, absolute maximum heart rate. So heart's going absolutely most it can, just sat there having a conversation. That's wrong. If you were at maximum heart rate, you would be absolutely gasping for air. You would be red in the face. You'd be absolutely exhausted. Doing that kind of intense cardio is very, very taxing, and you shouldn't be doing it too often. This would be, you may approach there if you're doing training for increase your VO2 max, which is absolute maximum oxygen your body can use at a time, which you could do like a Norwegian 4x4 for. It's very useful to do, but not too often. It's very stressful. And this is not what I recommend generally for general fat loss. If AO was sat there with heart rate 195, that indicates either his heart is completely superhuman, some unstudied thing we've never seen before, an absolute specimen, or more likely his heart rate tracker is messed up. If we could know his resting heart rate, that would be good to know. But as we say, around 60 is good. Women generally have a slightly higher resting heart rate than men. But around 60 is meant to be athlete. If you get a bit lower, that's very good. But as long as you're fit and healthy, it's the main thing. Anyone got a resting heart rate they throw out? They've got the moment. Hey, what's your resting heart rate? Do you have a resting heart rate or just always around? Yeah, we can not see that at all. Can't see that at all. All right, guys, that's my quick spiel on heart racing heart rate. If you're sat there chilling, relaxed, it shouldn't be 190s. If it's over 100 consistently, it's a good sign you need to get your cardio sorted. Low intensity cardio, 30, 40 minutes, a few times a week. Best way is to slowly build into it.
Enough AO hate and AO slander. I hope you guys have learned something interesting. I mean, if you have a heart rate like mine and you're chill, just know you're built different, right?
Just know that the watch is broken. Okay.
It should
it's
be
the watch that's broken.
Mimi, we've got a podcast today.
I'm not doubting AO may have got to his maximum heart rate, though it is hard to get to your maximum heart rate. A lot of people fail to get to fully max out their heart rate because it's so intense and absolutely horrible to do. So most of the time people have to have someone really pushing them. Often needs to be on an exercise bike or like a dyno bike to be able to push yourself that hard. It's incredibly, incredibly hard to do. Being able to do it is good, but you should also, if you went to the gym an hour ago, your heart rate should not still be anywhere near that high level afterwards. It should be coming back to normal. It'll take a few hours, probably up to 6 to 12 hours to get back to absolute resting heart rate normal. It'll be elevated for a short while. If your heart rate stays elevated for a long time, that's also something to get checked out, to be honest. Heart health is incredibly important. We don't talk about it very often in the fitness community, but heart health is very important. Awesome. Okay, so do we have any questions, guys, about your disposal for any fitness questions? We can talk about building muscle. We can talk about burning fat. We can talk about good foods to eat, nutrition. We can talk about cardio. We can look at your terrible programs you got from TikTok and tell you why they're terrible. James is not here today, so you're stuck with me, I'm afraid. I'll do my absolute best. Any questions you've got, please let me know. Hands up.
Hello, my lady. How you doing?
Hello? Is it
Please
my
be
lady?
a real person. If you are talking, we can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Who else had their hands up? Some of them left when we started talking about heart rates.
Candia says he's got a question.
Anisak _fit. How are you doing?
Hi, friends. I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Hi there. Doing well, thank you. What's going on?
I think my question is, and this is coming from, like, I'm asking you guys as fitness professionals, do you think that strength conditioning or like cardio conditioning is what leads to long-term success, like athletically?
Okay, really good question. Cardio or strength for long-term success athletically? So I think cardiovascular health is very important. Without good cardio health, you can't express what you've got. So I think having a good base level of cardio is probably the most important thing. If you are weak, but you're still in really good shape, being good at athletics, like children, if you're in really good shape, you're really good at running, you're really fit, you can be good at sports purely, gives you the ability to develop the other physical qualities. As you get more advanced, as you get more developed, I think strength becomes a limiting factor because If we think about the qualities of athleticism, so being explosive, the actual just raw strength, pushing, limit strength, strength will eventually become a limit and an issue. So I do think cardio is the most, having a base level of cardio is very important, but I think you'll be stemmed at the top level by your strength. Then again, this does depend on the sport. Athleticism, I presume you mean like be explosive jumps and various things like that, or am I wrong?
Precisely, yeah, pretty much. Just being able to be like reactive speed, stuff like that. Being able to do things under duress, if that makes sense. I feel like
Yeah.
most sports, you're applying a lot of outward pressure regardless. So it's like
Mhm.
being able to react to that like you said, an explosive way is a great way to put it.
Yeah, so in that case, I do think strength is important, but it's hard to separate the two. You'll be limited by your cardio, and it depends. If we think of, say, American football, people are very strong, very explosive, but they are very short intervals. You're not doing that for more than a minute or two at a time. It's very explosive, it's very intense. Compared to something like, say, basketball, it's much longer, it's more endurance, there's more breaks, it's going back and forth, there's more going on. In that case, I think cardio is much more important. So I do think it will depend on the explicit sport that you're doing to demonstrate those athletic qualities, if you know what I mean.
Okay, now if I may ask another question, is what are three things that you can test to see what you need to? I say three, however many numbers you think that you can test to assess like which one you think as personally you should aim towards, if that makes sense. Like whether it's strength training that you need to aim towards more, or like cardio conditioning. If there's something in particular that you think that you can test as an individual without like an outside coach's help.
Okay, so it's a tricky one. I wish I had Connor here or Boyer here to help me out, but we'll get back to them. Get them on. We'll get them on some point soon for actual proper athletics coaching session. As a rule, I think most men, at least, I think, go into sports and athletics, most people are more likely to be lifting weights than spending a long time doing cardio. So I think most of the time, I think cardio is going to be the limiting factor for most people in most sports, purely because men are very focused on being strong and powerful. They want to be the best and physically in that way. They don't actually give themselves the ability to have the full endurance level to demonstrate those qualities. Um, which is a simple way, which is a very complicated way to say something very simple, which is people get gassed very quickly. People will get run out of endurance. They can be really good for one. Well, you always see in some events, people are really good to start with. They push really strong. They give it all effort, and then they completely gas. They can't. They get subbed out. They can't do anything afterwards. So I would say cardio is probably something to work on. First of all, get to doing cardio each week. I think that's the best way to get up to a base level, and then from there, the strength side is difficult because there's no objective strength standards. I would probably go to Dan John if you know the coach Dan John. He has some very good. He's a very good athletics coach. He has lots of throwers, athletes, things like that, American football things. He's got some very good standards for strength, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but they are what he calls game changer standards. Someone please Google that and give me a link for that. I can't find it right now, but it'd be Dan John Game Changer Strength, which gives you basic base levels of fitness and strength. And once you hit those, beyond it is great. But once you hit those limit level of strength, they're going to stop being a limiting factor. Someone provide a link for me. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Fletcher. Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, by the way. I appreciate it. I know it's kind of outside of your wheelhouse, but I am curious from like your perspective as well. Everybody, whether you're like just a power lifter, that to me is athleticism. I don't care what you say. Being able to lift heavy weight is athletic.
For
So
sure.
I'm just curious, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
thank you so much for answering. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thank you. And a good question. And yeah, you're right. Anything with a sports level athleticism. So yeah, absolutely right. I do rag on powerlifters a lot, but it's only because I'm rude. Thank you for your time and your questions.
Thank you for your question. Milady, how are you doing? This is the last time I'm going to say that name because I'm cringing as I'm saying it. Well, good name. Hello, how are you doing? If you are talking, we cannot hear you.
They probably
We
have
can
a
use
bug or
text for
something.
now. Hello? Wait, did you say something? Who was that? Was it Mimi?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Milady, you can type it for now, or Yeah, you can type it for now and Chris will read it.
Sure. And just
While we're
so Fletcher,
waiting, we do have
just so you
someone
guys know,
else who's got a
Fletcher
questions.
Yeah, briefly, I was going to say Fletcher posted the link to the strength standards I was speaking about from Coach Dan John. So it's got the men's and women's strength standards on for that. So do check that out. The one Fletcher sent, if you're interested. Awesome. So who do we have a question from next? Am I muted? Am I having a stroke?
AO accepted 2 people, so I don't
Yeah,
know which
whoever
one's
of them
last.
can talk. Guys, how didn't you have mics on freaking Discord server? Feel free to
Don't
ask your
judge them.
questions. Lady, if you're still trying, we can't hear you.
Milady's typed something. We can go for that.
She typed. She
Okay.
asked the question.
Yeah. Should we do that briefly? Is that okay, AO? AO's muted. I'm just gonna carry on because everyone's gonna leave otherwise. So Milady's question is: I have a problem. I've not been gaining muscles lately, and I believe it's because I'm training too hard. Can this be the case? Okay, interesting question. So not gaining muscle, is it because you're training too hard? It is possible, but it's also extremely unlikely. If you can give us some more details, that'd be great. But oftentimes, if training isn't an issue, training too hard is rarely the issue. You could be training too much. You could be overtraining. Are you doing lots and lots of sets and volume? Are you in the gym for 2 or 3 hours at a time? Need a bit more information. You could be overtraining, but most of the time it's going to be poorly programmed instead, rather than not training hard enough, if you know what I mean. And it could be a nutrition issue or a rest and recovery issue. So my lady, if you can hear me, you're typing again. Awesome. Hopefully, get some more information. And Kudla says, "I'm in the car. The people so I can't talk. If I'm next, sorry, not driving good. Okay, type the question if you can, or we can get to you at a later time if you've got time to talk afterwards."
We've got Lobsterman and Candy Asked who are extremely eager to ask their question. You know, they've been waiting patiently for a while. So, Milady and sorry, mate, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Kutzlis? How do I pronounce this, Chris? Coach, I need help.
Okay.
Coach, what is this word? Cautilisus? Sorry, mate. I'm not even doing it intentionally. I'm literally an idiot. I'll move you guys to the audience for now. You can type your text questions, but if you do want to come back up to the panel to use the voice, you're more than welcome to. Can you ask? You've got enough time to eagerly ask your question that you've been eagerly waiting to ask. Go ahead, Lobster. Thanks for asking.
Am I going first, or what's going on?
Yep. Let's go. How you doing, man?
Okay, yeah. Sorry, Ayo was yapping for a while, so I don't like. I'm trying to focus, but it's really hard. Anyway, Chris, yeah, I got a question, I guess, on this week. It's about carb loading, carb cycling, a bit like that. I was kind of experimenting a bit for today, and yeah, I was just wondering. Yeah, so I did some research, I guess, a bit on Google. I asked here a bit that you're actually supposed to carb load like I think 36, 48 hours before, so like roughly 2 days. I thought it was the day before, and it took me a while to figure that out. And I know Paragon talks about it too. That when you have like a hard training days, you technically have more carbs than lighter rest days or active recovery, things like that. And yeah, I just wanted, since you're a power lifter, and I know bodybuilders, they also carb load before shows. How, if you had any, I guess, feedback on that, or maybe you can guide us a bit on what it is.
Awesome. Yeah, really good question. So the idea for carb, I'll go over some background for everyone. I know you know the basics, but not people probably won't. So carb loading or carb cycling is basically a concept that's not as popular now. It used to be popular maybe 10, 15 years ago and before that in terms of performance. The idea is carbs give you energy. So if you are training a bigger body part, say legs or back or something, you want more energy, you'll carb load or have more carbs around that day / before that day in order to give you more energy to perform in that session. You can also do carb cycling throughout the week, in which case, like Lobster said, if you're on a training day, you'd have more carbs to give you more energy, more recovery. And then on a rest day, you'll need less energy, so you'll have fewer carbs. And that can work. I'm honestly not a big fan of it. I don't really think it's a good idea. I'd rather have consistent levels of energy. I think it's more important for athletic things such as endurance running and things. I think having carb load is more important for that. I really think if you're lifting weights, it's not a massive factor. I'd rather see it also goes into people have different calories on different days during the week, which can work for some people, but I've not seen compelling evidence that it actually improves your gains. I've not seen any compelling evidence that it gets you gain less fat. What I have seen is it gets people confused, it gets people eating weird foods, people getting off track and messing up the calories and generally leading to more panic and stress, to be honest. I'd rather see eating the same consistent food each day so you know what's going in, you know what's going out, you got good stable energy levels. Because one issue is if you have lots of carbs one day or day before, you become very lethargic. It can give you actually the opposite effect. For bodybuilding, like you mentioned, it can be useful, but it's generally just before you go onto a stage. People deplete themselves. They deliberately have fewer and fewer carbs. You get very, very low body fat. You deplete all the sugar, all the carbohydrates stored in your body. So you're very flat. Then just before you go on stage or a bit before, I don't want to talk to Doko about this. I'm not an expert on bodybuilding, but the idea is that you have lots of salt, lots of fresh, simple carbs. Your body the muscles suck them in. You become very pumped up. You look your best on stage. That's not for performance. This is purely for aesthetics. So that's not really not my wheelhouse at all for that. And it's only a very special thing to do. So in short, yeah, I don't really think carb cycling is the best way to go. I don't really like the idea of having different foods each day because it leads to more stress and issues. If you very close attention to pay attention to your body, that's fine, but I think it's better to have more stable across the week, to be honest.
And also, I had a follow-up question on that. In terms of food, right? Because we have different carbs. You have, I guess, bread, rice, pasta, things I know, pasta or potatoes, or pretty much there's a lot, and beans maybe too. Well, anyway, yeah. I think heard or read, I guess, in a way that it impacts you differently. I guess the way you digest. So like, let's say you were carb loading. I know you're against it, but let's just hypothetical.
Sure.
How would you like? Let's say you have a competition tomorrow or the next day, right, or something like that. How would you how do you I guess pick your carbs in a way, or I guess kind of change your diet to time it right, I guess, to get peak performance, right? Let's say before a powerlifting competition.
Okay, so pretty quick caveat: this all depend on when you weigh in for the competition. Most times, I competed that we weighed in the morning a couple hours before the actual lifting started. So if you weigh in the day morning of it, that can be quite a consideration if you're trying to hit a certain weight class. Like I had to hit the 74 kilo weight class. I couldn't really. Well, the dream, the whole powerlifter dream of it basically is that you weigh in the day before. You deplete yourself before, so you get into a lower weight class. So you're competing against people with less muscle mass, so you have a competitive advantage. Then you carb load, so you gain additional weight, additional bloat. You get put on maybe an extra 5 pounds. That's going to fill up your muscles, get slightly lower range of motion, and you're going to be performing more because you're completely full up. The idea is that you get an advantage from that. So if you're if you're weighing in and competing the same day, it's difficult to do if you're trying to keep the weight class, which considers lots of planning. You talk to a powerlifting coach about that because you need to factor that in. If I were to just to carb load for performance, I would stick to carbs that I know I can tolerate. Now is not the time to start running. You always see it, which always confuses me as well. I'm not ragging on powerlifters, but I see this and it's annoying when people will say, right, I'm going to go eat energy today to lift. So before I lift, I'm going to eat all these sugary sweets and stuff, all these foods I've not been eating before. And what happens? You're bloated, you feel uncomfortable, you get stomach issues. The last thing you want to do is try to clasp on your belt on the notch you're used to for the whole training cycle. The last 2 months you've been training, and suddenly belt doesn't fit properly. The last thing you want is that. You want to be consistent. So what I would do is have foods I know I tolerate well. So this could be, what I go for is the simplest carbs possible. So food that only contains carbohydrates. So the best thing I would go for would probably be white rice. Nice and simple, easy to digest. I would get my fats nice and low. I would get maximum amount of carbs I can get in for the same calories and eat that enough, not to discomfort, just have just carbohydrates, just lean protein so you can minimize the calories and maximize the carbs. That's what I would do.
So you mean like minimize fat, protein, things like that, just pure carbs?
Yeah, I would have some lean protein, but I would minimize the fats absolutely because you're just performance. If you just want the energy from the carbs, you want to have little resistance to getting your system as possible. So it's like the opposite basically when you're trying to drop some weight. You don't have things slowing down digestion. You want fast digestion straight into your system. I also wouldn't be afraid of things like Gatorade, Lucozade, things like that. Some really simple carbs just to perform, just to get into your system straight away.
Yeah, I was asking Biggs that question before because I was trying to. I'm like, do you think I could eat a burrito 36 hours back, or just like, would that be too heavy, or
That'll be fine. Don't overthink it. That would be absolutely fine. That literally wouldn't be an issue. Don't overthink it. That would be absolutely fine. If that's a good way to get some carbs and lots of energy, makes you feel good, makes you confident going into it, that's absolutely great. Not an issue at all. My mistake when I competed was eating too little beforehand. So I weighed in about a kilo too light, and then I snacked on basically, I had coffee and like some almonds before session. I should have had some extra carbs in once I weighed in. So that's a mistake I did make for that. So I would, don't overthink it. And have these easy to consume carbs straight, easy to hand. So especially in between, if you're doing a full meet, healthy meets take longer than you expect. Everyone has to lift every single lift, so it can take hours from starting doing the dead squat to get to deadlift at the end. So do have easy to consume carbs, nothing too heavy on the day. I know if you're just in the gym lifting by yourself, it's not a big deal, but it's worth considering that it's gonna be a long day and you may not be used to it. That's why the worst thing to do is have food you're not used to having. They may be nice, you maybe deprive them from yourself during the training cycle up to it, but you don't want to suddenly reintroduce things that are going to cause you GI distress, shall we say.
I mean, for me at least, because if let's say I have a Chipotle burrito, right? Like one thing I realized, it takes a while compare let's say white rice to digest that, right?
Mhm.
And especially deadlifts, right? Because you told me this a few months back when I started bulking, like the belt position on deadlifts is like a little higher than I guess belly button, and let's say you're squatting, it's a bit lower, it's more towards the hip, and that's what I've been doing. That's what's been working out great. But also on deadlifts, yeah, if your stomach is because if your belt is on your stomach, you have that pressure. If you eat right before, I've done that before. It sucks. Oh my god. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's when you get the explosive vomiting on stage and stuff. So that's always fun. The main thing is to do is basically say medical. Don't do any harm. Give yourself the simplest chance to. Basically, you want when you come to performance, athletic performance, if it counts, you want to have as few variables as possible. Keep things as consistent as possible. So, eat the same food you've eaten through the cycle. Keep it simple. Don't suddenly eat loads of extra food. Don't drink gallons and gallons of water. Little things like that can throw you off. So keep things consistent is always the best way to perform at your best. And trust in the program to got you there. You need to really trust in the program.
but also
Overwork someone,
there's like a misconception, I guess, if you shouldn't eat too much carbs, I guess, the night before, right? Like let's say right before you're going to bed. Does that still apply to that same is it more like a daily thing, or should you only eat carbs like let's say during lunch and then just kind of cut it out before sleep? Let's say
Whenever.
you have something the next day. Doesn't
Whenever
matter.
you want, it's not an issue. The time is not an issue for that, no. Don't worry about that.
All right, I think that covers it.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Appreciate your questions as always.
Thanks for the question, Lobsterman. Really do appreciate you. Candy asked, feel free to ask your questions. And Chris, I swear to God, Lobster is genuinely trolling. Last week he said he's going to hold the podcast hostage. He's going to ask all unnecessary questions they knows the answer to, just to troll. So
I think it's a reasonable question, and carb cycling is actually a good question to ask about because it used to be popular a while ago. It used to be the absolute hottest thing. It used to have all this into it as a fasting and stuff like that. It's actually a good thing to go into because it always cycles back into the fitness psyche anyway. It's always going to come back at some point. There's nothing new in fitness really.
Yeah, true.
Sorry, Candy asked, how can I help you out? How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, doing well, thank you. You guys need James here to give me a break from speaking all the time. How can I help you?
I had two questions, but
Sure.
I don't know. One of them is it might be kind of dumb. I don't know. I'll ask the potentially dumb one first. So I notice a lot of people in my gym don't wipe the machines down or like the weights or anything. So I feel like this is an obvious question, but how important is it to like sanitize the machines?
No, good question. And again, I always say there are no stupid or bad questions, because any question you think you have, you feel stupid, everyone else knows the answer to, they probably don't. They're just too afraid to ask it. So thank you for asking the question. No question is too stupid to ask. So it's important to an extent. Being basic hygiene is important. So I would give it, if ideally if a place has got a spray, just quick spray to things. I wouldn't go too in depth. I wouldn't be too germophobic about it. But keeping things sanitary is always a good thing to do. Give things a wipe down. Don't be an ass about it. Don't be sneezing on people all the time. Just basic stuff like that. Gym's quite a dirty, unsanitary place anyway. But if you can do anything to not make it worse, that's always a good thing.
Yeah, I figured just being courteous and cleaning the
Yeah,
machines would be
yeah,
the best thing.
precisely.
So should I ask my second question?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so my second question is, obviously sleep is important when it comes to fitness, right? But I've talked to people on the fitness chat, and
Oh no.
there's times I'll get like maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep, but usually I'm still encouraged to go to the gym despite the lack of sleep. So what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, good question. And as we do know, as you said, sleep is very important. It's when you recover. It's when you actually your body goes into maintenance. It actually washes everything, gets ready to go again. So sleep is important. And if there's two situations here. So if you are occasionally getting a bad night's sleep and 4 or 5 hours, which isn't good, ideally you want to have 6 to 9, 7 to 9, really. People who say they can get by on 5 hours sleep, their brain isn't really working well enough to realize that they're sleep deprived. That's the issue. So 5 hours isn't routinely is not enough. Even if you're going to be, was it Chef Rush from the White House chef who said he slept for like 2 hours a night and had 22-inch biceps? Yeah, interesting. So sleep is important. It depends how flexible your training cycle is as well. So if you're routinely getting bad sleep every day, every night, it gets to a point where if I say don't go to the gym when you have a bad night's sleep, you're never going to go to the gym, which is going to be a problem for reaching your goals, and you really need to sort that sleep out. If it happens once or twice a week and you know it's going to happen, I would simply readjust your training day. If you're training, say, 4 days a week and you haven't slept well, you feel like death's door, I would say rearrange training session, give yourself the best chance to grow in that session, so I'd move it to the next day. If this means condensing your week a bit, say instead of moving a rest day around, don't worry about it. It's better to go in ready to perform. But if it's chronically bad sleep all the time, then you really need to adjust that either by sorting your sleep out or by having naps during the day. You don't want to be going through life with very little sleep because you're just not aware of how impaired you are. Was that helpful at all? Would you ever give me a more specific example?
No, that was helpful. And in fact, I do that. Like I'll move my rest days around if I'm gonna have bad sleep.
Good, yeah.
Especially on a leg day, because dear God, leg days are the most draining day. So I'll move a
Yeah.
rest day around if I'm gonna be squatting or something the next
Yeah.
day.
That's a good idea. Yeah, don't be worried about moving your days around and stuff. It doesn't need to be too rigid like that. Ideally, obviously the rest day is there for a reason. But if you're feeling absolute crap, you're not going to give yourself the best chance to perform. You're kind of just shortchanging yourself. So do shift it around. Don't be afraid about that. Sounds like you're doing the right thing.
Okay, I will continue to do that. Thank you, Chris.
Awesome. Appreciate you, man. Take it easy.
See ya. Bye.
Thank you very much, mate. I know you were very enthusiastic to ask your questions. Really do appreciate you. You waited for a while and you delivered this week at least. The votes of the polls show that you did ask good questions and they weren't stupid questions. So luckily you survived another month at Effective Fitness. So, right. Quick ad break. Huge shout out to Boostcamp. Thank you very much, Boostcamp. Guys, if you do want to get nice free workout routines, guess it's 6 o'clock. If you want to get nice workout routines, make sure to use Boostcamp. Boostcamp, great partners, great supporters of the community. If you're a coach, an opportunity for you to put your workout out there. If you're looking for nice routines, you want to become the next, the next Wolverine, the next, what's the most trending physique at the moment? I don't know, it always changes. Who's the most popular? It's freaking the new Captain America guy, right? From what's that movie called? Fuck.
You're good at this. You're
Thunderbolts.
so good at this.
Yeah, I literally just seen it not too long ago. No, I'm talking about comic book characters. Anyway, make sure to check it out on Boostcamp. Yeah, Chris Evans. No, he's not the one in Thunderbolts. Oh, no, Lau. Where's Lau? Lau.
Hi,
Firstly,
Alex. Hi.
what do you have to say?
I'm in Wales.
What do you have to say?
I'm in Wales.
I'm in Wales.
I'm expecting an apology. A formally spoken apology. Not just to me. You can break my heart. That's okay. I'll live. The community. You are our designated weatherman. We look forward to hearing the reports. It's been cloudy today. It could have been rained. I literally cycled up and down the hill just to go to the gym. And I could fall. I could slip. I could have an accident if I don't know what the weather is. So Lau, what do you have to say? And hey, Mrs. Lau.
I'm glad nobody died.
You're glad nobody died. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, do you have an opportunity to please tell us what the weather is, Lau?
It's really, really cloudy, guys. So be careful because it might rain. Don't slip.
I swear to God, each day I just want to fire you. I don't know. I just want to.
I've been fired once every week so far.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lau. I really do appreciate you. Do you have anything else to say? How's your fitness going? Still doing powerlifting? How's life?
Great.
How's Wales?
Wales. It's all right.
He's
I
in
don't like the
Wales.
drive here.
What?
The first time I drove on a motorway, it was scary.
Okay. How's your week been, by the way? Actually, I do want to know how your week has been.
It's been amazing.
I do not care how your week has been. Anyway, guys, back to the podcast. So, who else asked a question? Oh yeah, Chris, could you quickly go through some of the text questions?
Yeah, for sure.
And sorry about that, Lau. I only did it for the meme. I didn't mean to kick you. He says,
Right, we're having a look. We are scrolling.
Oh, you can rejoin. Lau, don't get me banned on Twitch.
Wait,
I don't know what's
Chris?
going on in that background. Don't get me banned on Twitch, Lau. I am streaming. Get back to the audience. Turn your camera off. And mate. Okay. Right. Staff members
Okay,
of
wait.
Effective Fitness, by the way.
I have a really stupid question, Chris.
Okay, let's go. Initiative
It's-
questions. Initiative questions. We'll see if we can break that.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, this is a family show, Lau. Kids watch this. Mimi's literally a
I can't even
kid.
say it. I'm turning 18 in 2 months. Anyways, how- I can't even ask it. Okay. How much protein is in a slice of pizza if I eat it really quickly? Like if I just shug it down my mouth. How much
Well, the
protein
amount
is
of-
in that?
Well, the speed of eating it won't affect the amount of protein in the pizza. It's not like a relationship between eating speed and content of protein. What kind of pizza is it? Where's it from? Give me some information.
How do you say this in English? Wait.
Domino's? Pizza Hut?
How do you say it in English?
What is it? Wait, what is stiff? What is stiff? It's okay.
What?
Just-
Al dente?
You know, like the like cheese and the little like square pink things you put in your bread.
Pepperoni?
No, ew.
Ham?
What's your response?
Bro, I don't know. It's freaking in your head. We're trying to help you out.
Wait,
Get a picture.
fiambre in English.
Yeah,
It
by the way,
says
guys,
stiff.
she's not stupid. She's actually just Portuguese. So, bear with her. I mean, maybe
It says
a bit of both.
stiff. Stiff? Is it? Look. I'm gonna have to
Picture.
turn my camera on.
Don't
What
get
is
me
this turning
banned.
to? Look.
All right, if you point
Yes.
something vigorously.
Yes, this like this.
Great.
Right
Hold
here.
it. Hold it a second. It looks like ham
yeah.
to me.
Look, but I asked this. Look, I put this
Ah, Google
It could be
Translate.
bamboozled.
Okay,
It could have been
that makes
bamboozled there.
sense. Don't worry, you're forgiven.
Just like
Yeah, it's hard to track calories in pizza, especially if you're not making
Yeah.
it because there's like oil and all. Chris can answer it.
Yeah, it's always challenging. Yeah, so I would guesstimate probably again the speed is not relevant to the protein content of the pizza, but I would probably guess a good size slice would be between maybe 10 grams of protein.
No, but like
Presuming
I'm saying it like because I go to a place, it's like a gym and then my taekwondo, and I always hear people like always joking around like, oh, if I eat like bad food or like fast food really fast, it's not gonna count. There's not gonna be carbs or anything. Like it's not gonna count for my weight. And I'm just like, that has to be a lie, right? Like it doesn't matter how fast you eat it.
Mostly, yeah. It is not true, but it's based on some science basically. So the idea is that it's kind of inferring one saying the opposite is true. So if you chew your food properly, and if you chew properly, 20 chews per mouthful of food, you'll break it down the most. Your body will be able to get the most nutrients from the food. You'll also be full faster because your body will realize when you've had enough food. If you bolt your food down, don't chew it very much, you're not going to digest as much of it. So you're not going to get the most nutrition from it. So in a way, yes, you will get less. If you eat food super quickly and don't chew it very much, you'll get fewer calories from it, but not enough to be a meaningful amount or something you can quantify anyway. So I'd always
But then I
recommend.
can choke.
Yeah, you can choke. That is true.
So
It's not recommended. I'm saying this is not a thing I recommend doing. But yeah, so if you eat food, you need to presume the best way to do it is to eat food, presume you're getting all the calories from it that you're eating. Ideally, your body will be efficient. It will extract all the nutrients from each food you eat, which means you want to give yourself the best chance to do that. You want to have a good, diverse gut biome, which means eating a variety of good foods. You want to digest all the food properly. You won't get digestive issues. But yeah, it's not true that if you eat food super quickly, the calories don't count. It's just an old joke thing for it.
Thank you. You weren't supposed to take this question so serious.
Well,
big
out.
Yeah, that's why Chris is great, guys. Please make sure to support Chris as he's supporting the community. Remember, it isn't strike first. It isn't strike force. It is
strength first.
Strength first. Make sure to support Chris SDR first on all platforms. So you can see the guy is a huge fan of powerlifting as he's deadlifted 300 kg. He loves powerlifting, absolutely. All powerlifters, the sports. I'm just kidding. I don't know why you, Chris. Why are you actually? I've got a question. Why are you beefing with powerlifters when you started off as a powerlifter? That's crazy.
Because
answer truthfully, no jokes. Because I actually wondered
my
that. That's weird.
No, so I don't actually have real beef with powerlifters. I have beef with the way powerlifting is kind of shown and glamorized in social media and things all the time, and I have issues with the way it's glamorized, the way people are encouraged or do take a bad inspiration from it, in my view, and how the training is generally done improperly. I think it's a lot of ego involved in it when it shouldn't be. Ideally, in the best case scenario, it's a very simple, pure sport. People train hard, they perform their 1 rep max. The best, strongest lifter, person who lifts the most weight wins, which is the way powerlifting works. So to clarify again, I want to say this. In powerlifting, the strongest person does not win. The person who lifts the most weight wins. There is a difference there. There's a key difference there. So you can be really strong. For example, you can be really, really strong, but if you're not very good at lifting, you're not going to win. You only win in powerlifting by lifting the most weight. And I think people train that improperly, that ends up injuries, people get ego involved, and that causes issues. I think people become quite stuck in their ways. They keep stuck trying to do 1 rep maxes all the time. They don't appreciate the hypertrophy work, and there's a bit of arrogance in it, I think. People think powerlifting is the best way and lifting the most weight and the best at exercise, basically. And I think it leads to issues from that. And people also tend to do stupid things and move away from the health and fitness part of it towards, like I said, ego and performance in that way. So I think people need to do more cardio, people need to spend more time doing hypertrophy work, people need to spend less time testing their lifts, and with the lisping here, people should spend more time building strength and building their strength rather than testing and trying to demonstrate it all the time. There's a big difference between demonstrating strength and building strength.
Oh yeah, by the way, my heart rate is 83 beats per minute. And we do have a Twitch question, thanks to the 1 or 2 people watching Twitch. Shout out to you, mom. Hi, mom. I'm famous. Daddy XZLL, expected name from Twitch, right? Says, I bought a ab wheel. Will it give me abs? What's the answer to that, Chris? And there are some people. No, that is his name. If you go to Twitch, you will see it. It's literally. I'll take a screenshot. That is literally. I'm not telling a fib. It is literally his name. And also, I'll just call you mate on Twitch before I get cancelled. You can join the Discord server if you want to talk to personal trainers, other fitness enthusiasts, etc., etc., etc. Go ahead, Chris, answer the question. And also the guys who've asked text questions, sorry, I haven't forgotten about you guys. Ping it again if I can't see it. And Chris, okay, answer the Twitch question. We rarely have Twitch questions.
Oh, so the question was from Twitch, hi there. Will an ab wheel give me abs? And the answer is it can help you get abs. It's not going to be, I do my ab wheel and suddenly I get massive abs. So having abs, everyone, really boring way to put it, as everyone says, everyone has abs. They're muscles that everyone has in their abdomen. Their function is to flex the spine. So bring your shoulders towards your hips, bring your hips up towards your shoulders. Building the muscles makes them more visible. Having lower body fat reveals them, so fat's out of the way, you can see the muscle. So if you do the ab wheel, it's a good movement. It's very good feeling stability. It's very challenging though, so do be careful. If you have an ab wheel, haven't used it before, do start trying to do it from your knees first. Don't try to do it from your feet instantly. That's going to lead you to face planting and injuries. Build it up slowly. It can be part of a really good ab program. I do like having ab wheel as almost a finisher or after doing specific hypertrophy ab work. So doing crunches, doing leg raises. It's a good part of the routine. So if you do the ab wheel, it can increase your ab strength. It can give you bigger abs over time. But to truly reveal them, have them look the best, you can have to drop some body fat as well. So they're a good tool to use. Hopefully that was helpful.
Was that helpful, mate? I'm not saying was
text
that
question
helpful,
here.
Daddy
Too late.
XZLL. That's just sauce.
Too late. Okay, so quick question here from Ayan in the chat. Are horizontal rows enough to target the mid upper back except for lats if I don't have enough equipment? Okay, so upper back, you mean your traps basically and into rumbles and things like that. Yeah, in short, yeah, it's enough. It's probably not going to be absolute maximum development, but you can definitely get 90% of your development just by doing horizontal rows of various sorts, yeah. And for training upper back, I said before, you want to try to have higher up elbows rather than elbows towards close to your body. It's going to do movement for the scapula, all the trap muscles. I'll look up to here as well. The trap's not just up here, but between your shoulder blades, moving the scapula. So yeah, horizontal rows are a great way to build up those muscles. Enough, yeah, it'll be fine. You can build very good upper back development simply by doing horizontal rows. Not the absolute most, but it'll give you plenty of development. Hopefully you mean doing rows with a barbell or a dumbbell. Otherwise you can do things like an inverted row, what they call like an Australian pull-up or Australian row it is when you suspend yourself from a bar and pull yourself towards it that way.
You're a lady. I literally could not find your question. So much spam. Good engagement though. Glad you guys are talking with each other. Could you type it again? Lady
yeah,
and Shatututs.
Or tag me. And Trainee quickly says, I just have a question. Nowadays people are saying one horizontal, one vertical, and one rowing movement makes the whole back. Is this true? Yeah, basically, yeah, those are the movements you need to train. I do like having a deadlift in there at some point just because it could fuel lower back. It kind of neglects the spinal erectors at the bottom. So I would like to have some sort of hinging movement. It could be a back extension, it could be a deadlift of some description, but I think that's really valuable for the lower back. But that's going to develop most of the whole back. So there'll be variations within that. Elbow position will be important for stressing different muscle groups, but yeah, that's the broad strokes of it. Yeah. Okay, this is a question. Is this from my lady? Yeah.
Oh, your lady's asking a question.
So clever. I do train. Yeah, you laugh. No one else is laughing, but no one else is laughing. I do train to failure, and I'm consistent, and I haven't taken a rest day since I was. Okay, so first of all, it sounds like we're doing too much. It sounds like not resting. If you haven't had a rest day in 18 months, that's probably a sign you're probably a bit overtrained, probably do a bit too much. I'm doing PPL right now, so push-pull legs, and I train 6 days a week, which to me suggests you have a rest day every week. If you're having there being 7 days in a week, you're doing push-pull legs, and a rest, or push-pull legs, rest, push-pull. After training, I always run for at least 15 minutes, hopefully. That's fine. But instead of building muscles, I feel tired than usual and doesn't have a large appetite anymore, leading me to eating less. So these are quite typical signs of being overtrained or doing too much, not recovering enough. If you're overtrained, it does happen, rarer than you think, but you're gonna have less of an appetite and it's gonna become more tiring, more difficult. Could this be a problem with training too hard? And what should I do to end this evil cycle? Okay, so it sounds like does sound like you're training too much. I think you're doing too much volume. So most of the time when I talk about training hard, I mean training intensely. So giving your absolute all to a set. It sounds like you're doing simply too much lifting. So what you need to do in this situation is reduce, what I have to do for you is have a big difference and cut your volume massively. So train a lot less, do a lot fewer sets. So whatever training you're doing now, I would probably cut it in half. You could even take a full 2 weeks off from training. That wouldn't kill you. That's probably a good thing. But if you don't want to do that, I would cut it down to push-pull legs once a week. I would, for now, cut half your sets, make those sets count, good sets, and then go forward from there. That's going to give you a chance to recover. It's going to give you a chance to focus on doing really good quality sets rather than a high number of sets. And it's going to give you a chance to actually recover properly. Outside of that, I would get more food in your system if you can. If you're having difficult appetite, you can look to easier, more dense sources of carbs and proteins and fats. Instead of having, say, a lean chicken breast with some broccoli and some rice, you might have a fatty piece of beef, you might have some pasta, you might have, I don't know, some other carbs and beans on the side, something. More dense calories, so more calories, more nutrients per mouthful that you eat. And that should get you out of that cycle. It's good to acknowledge it. I think you are probably doing too much. You need to focus on doing less, but making it higher quality. Fletcher's information I should have read before. Thank you, Fletcher. They do 24 sets per week per muscle, all to failure. Okay, so yeah, we're doing much more. So I cut that in half. I agree. Yeah, I'm not going to change what I say. Cut it in half. Make those sets count. Don't go complete failure. Maybe keep one in the tank for each of those sets. That make a huge difference to how you can recover. I'm skipping it. Okay, yeah. I appreciate that. And no, he's not. No relation. No relation. Awesome, guys. Any more questions to go?
Yeah, there was catalyst you cal
Oh yes.
Catalyst too. I don't know.
Yeah, if you can find me that one. Oh, there's that one.
Yeah, let me send it again.
Oh, I got it. Cool. Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay. Do you guys train flexibility? And if so, what's your program? I know it's a lack of mobility and lifting. I'm just wondering. Okay, good to notice that. I am starting to do some more. So, yeah, I'm starting to do more mobility work. I do think people should do a bit more flexibility work. There is the idea that lifting makes you muscle bound, which isn't true, but it can reduce your range of motion for various things. So I do think everyone should be doing a bit of mobility at work. If you're going to do it, I would do it after training. I wouldn't do it beforehand. There's all sorts of things to do. You can also do things like weighted stretching and stuff, which is really valuable as well. I don't have a specific routine I go to, but I do like some Instagram pages and things like range of strength and cool things like that. They do some interesting stretches with weight and basically doing strength, getting stronger in extreme range of motion, which I think is very, very valuable. So yeah, I do think everyone should be doing some sort of mobility, flex, stretching. Not necessarily doing the splits, but getting stronger in extreme range of motion is always going to reduce your injury and make you overall stronger. Flex, you were doing so well. Now you're talking about Roblox. You're doing so well.
Ooh, actually, that's a good segue. Guys, this week's giveaway sponsor is Club Galactica. It's basically a gaming Discord server. They do have Roblox there. The owners, they make like computer parts, like keyboards and all these custom stuff and all these other stuff. So make sure to join. Do me a favor. It is literally the channel just below. And prayers to Kendra. Reach out to Kendra, anyone who's spoken to her recently. I can't even use that now because she's going through stuff. Who's someone stupid in a server that I can use as an insult? Don't be a subject zero. The the channel is literally just below. So, now Ice is smart and he's also won MVP, so we can't use him.
Are you saying the Boostcamp one? Boost?
What? Don't be a meme. The channel is just below. What the fuck? This is just, bro.
No, that's the channel that's below for me. I swear to God.
Do you have all channels visible? No.
Bro, if you say no to me again, I do. Wait, do I? Oh, I don't.
Oh my gosh, mate. You know, sometimes I just wonder, like, I get it. I get it. You know how, like, God just, like, let's have the flood for whatever reason. I sometimes just feel like clicking on that delete button in the Discord. Just go to settings, scroll all the way down, click delete server, and then there'll be world peace. But hey. Okay, Mr. Henry, while you guys are joining the giveaway, so make sure to join the giveaway. I don't want to take up much of Chris's time. So this is an opportunity for you guys to join the giveaway. It's very easy. It's a gaming server. I'm admin there, so hey. So if you do want roles, have ideas for games or all these other stuff, make sure to join. And huge shout out to Club Galactica. They also do keyboard parts and keyboard. Let me just quickly get it. It's Shop Galactica. The owners, I don't know if they're a couple, so I don't want to say anything. But both of them are really nice people. They're shy. I told them to join the podcast. They said they'd never been on a podcast before, that I should do it, that they trust me. So they're trusting me. That's the website. Check it out. You know, they do keyboard parts, cool, customizable stuff. Get some nice, you know, some nice stuff for if you want to play your Minecrafts or whatever, or your freaking League of Legends. You know, all of you people with hard stock platinum that can never get out of platinum and consistently keep playing League of Legends. Like you don't. You
love League of Legends.
Mimi.
You do. Mimi. Don't even lie right now.
Mimi. ST. Shut the front door. Right. Anyway, next person, Mr. Henry. How are you doing? Feel free to ask your question. And this is the last week that you have that sponsor role, mate. So use it wisely. You know, ask all the necessary questions, get the roles you want. This is the last week. You know, you should have chosen the Nitro. I did tell you pick the Nitro. But yeah, go ahead.
I have enough Nitro. I have a friend who's a Discord developer. I'm good on Nitro.
Connections. How you doing?
Yeah, how's it going? I was supposed to join last week. I was supposed to have an ear surgery, but then I didn't, so kind of ruined up, I guess, but nah. Do I have time? How much time do I have? Like until like 8, right? Well, 7 p.m. UK time. I'm fucking know what the time
I'm
is.
gonna be shooting about 5 minutes, so.
Alright, well, I was gonna ask for a form check, but I don't have time, even though my...
DM me.
Yeah, I can do that. Alright, well, quick fire. Creatine, before or after workout?
Is that creatine?
Yeah, before or after workout?
Any time of the day, just be consistent with it.
I guess. Alright, sick, doesn't matter. How do I impress the hoes? Give me some tips. Just meaning of the last guy. Don't answer that. Don't worry about it. Just meaning of the joining with a fucking vape and a camera on. Sick. Is there any point to do hack squats if before hack squats I am doing squats?
Is it worth doing hack squats and squats?
Yeah, like one after another. Because my workout is basically squats first, then doing hack squats.
Yeah, you can do it. That's fine. I would definitely do the barbell squats or free weight squats before doing hack squats. But yeah, you can do both. You just.
I'm already doing it that way. Yeah, I'm already doing it that way.
Yeah, that's fine.
You'll
just hate yourself.
Yeah. One arm cable. Oh, wait, what's the fucking call? I even forgot at this point. Tricep extensions. One arm, right? Is there a good way to replace that exercise with tricep push downs?
Yeah, that's
machine push downs.
That's fine.
Shit. Well, I don't really have time to. I'll just ask in DM for the other ones. Shit.
Bingo!
Oh, yeah.
Bingo! Let's go! I win.
This ain't Roblox.
Wait, what? Roblox.
The
Bingo.
other.
There was a cardio question. I threatened to ban. Chris wasn't sure. Your mic is low. There was a meme question just now. Creating question. We had more than 5 questions. Chris yaps for too long. Literally just happened. Can you repeat that question? That also happened.
By
So
the way,
bingo,
it's
I
not-
win. Right.
It's not bingo because not a single person has asked more than 5 questions in a row.
You just did.
That's what I. No, I didn't ask 2 questions.
2? Chris, that was not 2
We got
questions.
to 3. We got to 3.
Yeah,
Well,
he
yeah,
just
the
does
first-
not know how to count. It's okay,
The
guys.
I thought you meant like
was a
5
meme.
questions throughout the entire podcast. So it wasn't, there's no specific explanation to what's required. So hey.
I'll make it better for next week.
No worries. I appreciate it, mate.
Well,
Yeah, we don't want to take up Chris's time. You can DM him the question.
And DM the phone check. Yeah.
Okay, ask your last question. Go ahead.
Does it really matter if I eat breakfast in the morning or not? And I'm asking that from a perspective of if I fall asleep for way too long, and I don't need to exercise, can I just drink like a milk protein shake and then just be done with it for breakfast?
Yeah, that's fine. Technically, breakfast is any time you break your fast. So any time you eat food is fine. It doesn't have to be particularly breakfast oriented or anything like that. Just get some protein in, like you said. Yeah, totally fine.
See you next week.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate you. If you've got any more ideas, feel free to ask. We do accept meme questions in the bounds of fitness. So, you know, if you have any Ashton, what's his name? Coach Ashton, the guy that's trending on Instagram. Any questions relating to him, you can ask. As long as it's all fitness related, that's all good. Cool. Thank you very much, everyone. We are going to do the giveaway winner. So I'm going to quickly screen share. This is an opportunity for everyone to join the giveaway. Chris, you also can join the giveaway. So is there anybody who wants to join that hasn't had a chance to join? You still need... I don't know what you mean by that. Anybody want to join the giveaway? Oh, it's a good opportunity to join the giveaway. Whilst you guys are joining, I'm adding people to the giveaway name list. So this is your opportunity. Join now or forever hold your peace. So we have Hamed. Oh yeah, I need to screen share from the other computer. Oh my god.
Yeah, Fletcher.
Is multiple monitors bad for you? Is it a myth or is it true? Because I have like
Multiple
3,
what?
and then I have my laptop, and I think it's hurting my eyes. Although it's not a fitness question.
iPad, baby. iPad kids. Confirmed.
Am I sharing the correct screen? Right, so we have... Yeah, all of you people put in stuff like AO is a cool guy, just to increase your chances of winning. I'm not the one that decides. It's a random wheel. So I do appreciate it, and we clearly know that's true, so appreciate it, but you don't have to do that. I've seen a few people put AO is a cool guy. Hi AO. I'm not the deciding factor. Do anything that can increase your chances. What did you say?
That's what you want us to think.
Just kidding. The only thing that increases your chances is like being loyal member or booster or whatever. But yeah, let me make sure I didn't miss someone. Blicky House. And the winner from last week, you still haven't DM'd me. I literally forgot who the winner was. Guys, you have to DM me because I believe it or not, I'm not always on Discord. So I won't get a notification on my phone if you send it in the... And I'm not going through all the chat channels. So let's see, who's boosting out of these people? Oh, yeah, Fletcher, you get added 3 times.
Wait, if we boost, we get added 3 times.
Twice for boosting, for being a supporter 3 times. Hey, I don't make
I'm
the
all of that.
rules.
Add me
I
10
just follow
times.
them. Just saying. I don't make the rules. I just
Add me 10 times. I'm everything.
follow.
Not very polite. apart from that, yeah.
Gosh. No comments, Your Honor. No comments. Have you guys got any plans? Oh, bank holiday Monday. Chris, you got plans?
No, not at the moment. You busy?
What?
I'm
The
taking
heck
it
is a
easy.
bank holiday?
What do you mean? What's the bank holiday?
When the banks go on holiday. It's in the name.
Sorry, I'm not English, so no, I don't have a freaking bank holiday.
Wait, you guys call it bank holidays in America as well, right? Can't just be in English thing.
I'm not even American.
Or in Portugal.
You are allowed though.
Blicky House.
We don't even have a bank holiday thing,
Wait, am I
so we don't
missing
call it
anyone?
anything.
Blicky
Am I in
House.
there?
Unfortunately. Lily.
That's really mean.
I had Olivia. Techno, Zio, Blicky. And then the new people. Cool. Anyone in the chat want to join? This is your chance. Podcast needs to end. Oh, one more ping so people, and I love doing it from this account. Oops. I already done it. Never mind. You guys ready?
Ready?
Gonna shuffle.
Yes.
My money's on.
Is anyone saying that they wants to join? Candy
Listen.
asked, are you sure you don't want to join? You can literally join every week. Miss Yap Queen, Sub-Zero, Toxic, all of you guys, you literally can join the giveaway. There's no limitation. I'm not no Lau. Wait, did Lau join? Give me a sec.
Put subject 0
Oh,
in,
okay.
yeah, so we can go.
Guys, if I haven't... Wait, is this the correct one? This is a different one that you guys are responding to. Make sure you're joining the most recent one. That's the correct one. This one right here. No Lau. Give me a sec.
Sorry, man. I'm gonna have to run in a sec.
Jesus, guys, how are you guys all slow? Who else is left? You have 5 seconds. 5, 4. Have you joined? If you sent a screenshot, there you go. Sub-Zero. Boosting. We do this every week and it's still the same. I even
Wait, Chris.
announced it in advance.
Wait. Chris, do you remember last podcast, I was supposed to do remember when you guys were doing the flexing, the bicep flex? And I said, oh, I'm going to stay till the end of the podcast and I'm going to do it too. But I always leave before the podcast ends, but I'm here today. So I'm going to do it today because I'm
you
awesome.
want to do the flex with us? Okay, sure. Quickly.
Yes.
Okay, guys, giveaway winner. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry, everyone who didn't get to join. I apologize. There's always next week. And the winner is... Wait, did Hamed win last week? Blicky House. Hamed almost got one again. Congratulations, Blicky House. Good job.
Nice.
Congrats. I'm going to steal that from you.
Cool, cool. Mimi, you said you wanted to do flex with us. You want to do it? You ready? 3.
Wait. This was too fast.
2.
Calm down.
1. Bro, am I being trolled or something?
This is really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Wait.
Oh my god.
Okay, good. We've got it. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you, everyone. Hope you all have a great week. Thank you all. Hope you
You
have a
judge
great
me,
day.
I will kill you.
Bye. Thanks for
Bye.
joining.
Thanks, guys.
Discord podcast. Oh, I joined the Discord podcast on my
Not
weekend.
judging.
I'm so cool.
'Cause I know you
I
would kill me.
literally
No, I
joined the
won't.
Discord. You know
I know
how
I'm small, it's
sad and
okay.
pathetic it
I
is
know
to
I'm small,
join a
it's okay, you can
Discord
judge me.
podcast? Don't you guys
Bye
have
bye.
friends or things to do? I'm on a weekend as well. Honestly, I swear to God, all of you sicken me.